Good morning. Today we are going to start a new topic, that is trading account. It is a part of final account, that is trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet. So the first part of the final account, that is trading account. Let's see that definitely it is an account. So one side should be shortage and that should be carry forwarded for the next year. So let's see that the format first. After that we are going to start a question as an easy question. First time we will going to see, and after that some adjustment question also we are going to see. Okay, so trading account for the year ended, definitely which year you are making this, that year is known as the assessment year, and this definitely the previous year account we are making, because of that previous year already completed and all the transactions you have with you. So first thing is that you remember that whenever we are making the trading account, it is the direct expenses and direct income account. So that means of what, any direct expenses you are doing, expenses, it is a nominal account, so it will be in debit side, and income it goes to our credit side. So that direct income and direct expenses, so direct all expenses will come to our debit side, direct incomes comes to our credit side. Now the question arising, what is direct income and direct expenses? Direct expenses is those expenses easily we can trace out for 1 units of production how much cost is there. This is one of the direct expenses. Say example, if you purchase raw material, say that 1 units of raw material you purchased, and by using of the 1 units of raw material you are going to produce a 1 units of goods. So 1 units of goods rupees is 20 rupees, selling price is 20 rupees. So you have purchased a raw material for that, say 10 rupees. So easily you can find out that 1 unit selling price 20 rupees out of 10 rupees is your expenses. So easily trace out per unit cost, that is known as the direct expenses. So direct expenses, if you categorizing, no, it's easy way you should categorize and you should remember these things. Okay, now easy way categorization, how I have done, all that transportation cost, one part I have taken, another part I have taken that manufacturing cost or the factory cost. You remember 2 things only, that's enough. Let's see that one. First one is that opening stock. Opening stock, after that purchases of raw material, any purchases you have done that will come to our debit side of the trading account. But the things, remember that after that any purchase return you have done, that should be subtract from here, and I should subtract and I should write that outsider column, that amount. After that wages, simple that when that any expenses you are doing for the producing of goods and its amount is given to the any laborer for production of units, that is one of the wages. Remember that the opposite should be salary. Salary, it is not a direct expenses, wages is a direct expenses. Why the wages direct expenses? Easily I can trace out for production of 1 unit how much amount of money I am going to give the laborer. I hope clear. Okay, next see that all are the here up to import duty, that all are the parts, if you checking that all are the transportation cost. But the which transportation cost? When any raw material you are purchasing, that the raw material coming from the supplier to your factory. So in that way, what are the expenses you are doing for the transportation, easily you can trace out for that one product how much transportation cost you have given. So that is known as the direct transportation cost. So I can take in the debit side of the trading account. Let's see one by one. Carriage inwards, indirectly when you purchasing any raw material, what are the transportation cost you are giving, that is known as the carriage inwards. Next, freight charges. Freight charges also another name of the carriage inwards. It's most of the time that when you are importing goods from the other country or other place, so that when you are shipping in the shipment, so that time you are paying this. Next, cartage, definitely it is also another name of the carriage inwards. Octroi most of the time. Octroi is simply that when you are importing any goods from the other country, that time you are paying transportation cost. Next is the dock charges. Simple that when that goods came to your port and after that you keeping some time on a godown, that godown charges, it is one of the dock charges and all. Next one is that octroi. It is also another octroi I have written 2 times. Next is that import duty. Now you think about that import duty and custom duty, both are that when you're doing that import, that time not only that dock charges, not only that octroi you are paying, apart from this other charges, that is custom duties and import duties also you are paying, so that indirectly that it is also direct expenses. Next one is that factory rent. If you finding from here to here, there's all part of the factory expenses. So I told you the two parts of that expenses in debit side I have categorized. One is that you can categorize in the transportation cost in the sense when you are purchasing any raw material, the raw material coming from one supplier to your factory. So what are the costs are, what are the charges are. So this all are the charges we have seen in this. So it is nothing but the purchasing transportation cost, simple. And that after that I told you that another part you can take as all the factory charges. So factory charges indirectly, factory rent, factory light. Remember that the factory lighting, if it is asking, it will come to our debit side of trading account, but only lighting has given there. I am thinking about the office lighting, so that will go to the profit and loss account. Water, fuel, any other power given, that all comes to our debit side of the trading account. Next one is the manufacturing expenses. So manufacturing expenses also it's a leads to a factory expenses only. So that if you finding here that all the expenses incurred here, either it's a transportation related with the purchase or it is related with the factory expenses. So I can say the two categorization in the debit side of the trading account we have. Now see the credit side in this, that one is the sales direct income. So that what are the revenue you earn, what are the revenue you earn by disposing of goods. So easily you can trace out for one units of goods how much profit or how much selling price is. Less sales return and the closing stock. Either when I have taken the opening stock here in debit side, so closing stock I have taken in the credit side. I hope understood. Let's see a question on trading account. So prepare trading account from the following for the year ended 31st March 2017. So the format is that we should write trading account of so and so company for the year ended, check that, 31st March 2017. This side we know very well, credit side, and this one is the debit side. Now see one by one the information we will going to see, and we will plot where it's needed. Next, that opening stock, first one is that we know that to opening stock, how much amount you have that check, 2 lakh rupees I am keeping. Debit side, purchases, we know that purchases should write inside column, because if any purchase return are there, that should be subtract from there. So purchases we have that 10 lakh rupees and minus purchase return also you have that. Take purchase return here, purchase return opposite side is given 60,000. So that subtract it 9 lakh 40,000 I am writing outside. Next one is given the sales. We know that sales is a revenue, so that is a direct income. I am writing by sales amount here given 25 lakh rupees and minus sales return, if any sales return. So now see the sales return also given here 1 lakh, so that subtracted 24 lakh goes outside. Next, freight charges, so it is the carriage inwards, so that to freight, how much amount, 32,500 I have taken here. Next, to wages, I know that wages I supposed to write before, but you got later, you can write later also, no issue. To wages 15,000, no, 1,50,000 we have here. Factory lighting, you know that the factory any expenses will come there, that will come to our LIGHTING. Factory lighting 54,000. Apart from this, coal, gas, water, anything is given there, that is also a trading account expenses. So that 11,000 I have taken here. Now say here in this side, what are the things left? Carriage, this all part we have seen, right? Opening, purchases, sales and all that. Okay, now carriage on purchases. We know that carriage on purchases is nothing but the carriage inwards. Indirectly, this is a part of the trading account debit side. So expenses is direct. So I can say that carriage in purchases. Carriage on purchases, how much? 40,000 I have taken. Next one is carriage on sales. It should not be count because of it is a carriage outwards. So already we have seen that carriage inwards only the part of that trading account, not the carriage outwards. Next one is a factory rent. Obviously factory expenses, factory rent, how much is there? 2,20,000. Office rent, no, office it is a indirect expenses, so we should not consider that one. So now as per this information we got that another information has lack here, that is closing stock. Let me check the book has given the closing stock or not. Yes, closing stock valued at 3 lakh rupees. So here one information is not there, that is closing stock valued at rupees 3 lakh. So that closing stock most of the time it will not give to your trial balance, it will give in down of the trial balance. So closing stock valued at rupees 3 lakh. So now all that things I have written, tally it. Which side is more? We are thinking this side only more. How much should be? 24 and 3 lakh, 27 lakh. So right here 27 lakh. Now see there, this side if it is less, how much less are there, that we are going to calculate. Calculate it. 10,52,500 less. So that 10,52,500. Now see that income side more, expenses side less. So how much less? 10,52,500. So that income more, expenses less. So definitely profit. Which profit this one? To gross profit. Gross profit carried down, balance in figure. That's it. 10,52,500. I hope understood how I have considered that all the things.